Hello everyone. Today I want to talk something about how to write Chinese character. I know that this problem was confusing a lot of guys, and some people would just avoid this Chinese character. It's really a pity, I would say, because Chinese character is that the Chinese culture, so you should not escape it. You should not avoid it. Sometimes I just saw some guys learning Chinese notes and they just use pinyin and English translation to learn Chinese. I would say this is exactly the wrong way. Please don't do this. Maybe you can just do it in the first month to help you to get used to pinyin, but don't rely too much on pinyin because in China it's a Chinese culture way. It's a Chinese culture word, not a pinyin word. You cannot see any pinyin in Chinese real life. Okay, please don't do that. And some guys, they have started writing, but some may find it's really hard to write the Chinese culture. I can totally understand that, and it's great that you have started doing this. Or maybe you have used the wrong way. Have you ever thinking of that? Or maybe you have used the wrong way to do that. Have you ever know the writing logic and the Chinese character structure? Do you make all of this clearly? I will talk something about this in this video. Please keep watching. And some they may have got the right direction and got the right methods. So some guys will learn Chinese very efficient. So I hope you can also do it in the right direction with the efficient methods, so you can make your learning process more pleasing. So now, for answer this question, I would like to talk something about what would a Chinese guy do when they encounter a new character. Okay, now let's see the first step. When a Chinese people they encounter a new character, of course, the first one they would just simply look into the dictionary and then find the pronouns and the meaning. Of course, you will also do that, right? And for the next step, they will analyze the structure of the character and they would also try to find out the radical meaning. Now let's assume that I don't know a character of this character. Let's assume that I don't know this. Actually, it means Pao in Chinese, means wrong. So first I will look into the dictionary and to find the pronouns meaning, right? And for next step, I will analyze the structure of this character. Now here we can see that it's simply a left and right structure. So it's a structure like this, and the radical here you have the radical of 足 means feet. Oh, I will know that this character may be something related to food. Okay, and the second part it's a ball, and then from this sense I will know that this is the sound radical because here this is bao and here is pao. They have the same vowel. Here ao, ao, this is the same vowel. So I would understand this character more profoundly. So after that, of course, I will try to write this character for a couple of times, simply like this. 跑. When write this, I will read it out, or I will just read it in my heart. 跑. Okay, after writing couple of times, I will get familiar with this culture. And the next step, I will use it in a phrase. In Chinese, we call it 主词. It means make a word that use this culture. Let's see what else. In Chinese, we have 跑步 means running, jogging. 跑步. Yes, so I will try to make these words with this character. And the next step, of course, I would try to practice in my life or try to use it in my daily life, just like when I chat with my friend, I would say 我今天早上去跑步了. Here I will use this word 跑步 here. You see, it means that this morning 今天早上 this morning I went running. This morning 今天早上去跑步了. Here 跑步 means running or jogging. So I will try to use it in my daily life. And then when you use more, you would easily remember this word without any problem. So based on this 5 steps, let's see how you can start to learn your Chinese character. Here is how you start. For the first, you should learn the pinyin or search the pronunciation online. There are a lot of apps and websites you can use for the So for the first one, pronounce the meaning. You can do that yourself. I know that a lot of you have done this really well. And for how to analyze the structure and the radical meaning, some of you may just skip this step, but this is quite important. So in order to do this, you should learn the Hanzi structure. You should know what structures in Hanzi, and then you can try to analyze that yourself. And you should know some common character and their meanings. Just like this one, the 足字旁, it would indicate something about the feet. And there are a lot of radicals in Chinese that have the meaning. Just like this 提手旁, it's hand related, and this one, grass, means the plant related. There are a lot of radicals there, and I will show you later in each characters. So here is the second step, right? And for the third purpose, of course, you should try to write it. But how? How can you write the Chinese character? I would say each Chinese character is formed by some Chinese strokes, right? So you should begin with the basic strokes and then try to understand the writing logics. Just like this part, I will write it from the left to the right. This is the writing logic. Under this logic, I will learn each part. Use this simple basic strokes. Then I will make this, right? And I think this is the most important part when you write the Chinese culture. And what does it rely on? This writing logic basically relied on the Hanzi structure. I will show you later. So you must do the second step proper, and then it will benefit your writing process. The next step, you should learn the common use compound words. Like here with 跑, the most common word in Chinese is 跑步, 跑步. So you should learn some common words like this, and then you will understand this more. You will understand this better, and you can use this in more native way. Okay, and of course there's nothing fancy, right? You should try to practice it yourself. Try to use it in a sentence and try to speak it as much as you can, so that of course you can learn Chinese character very well. Okay, now let's do a summary. Okay, now let's do a summary. So, what I have talked about. First, for the pronunciation and the meaning, you can learn the pinyin or search that online. You can use the dictionary either in the books or the e-dictionary, just as you like. And for the second step, you should try to analyze each character structure, right? And for this purpose, you must learn some Hanzi structure and learn some Chinese radical, so you will understand where does this radical come from and what is this meanings. Just like this two radical, one is hand related, one is plant related. And for the third purpose, of course, you should try writing for a couple of times. So where to start writing? Of course, you should learn the basic strokes. And then understand the Chinese writing logic. It will benefit you a lot. Well, for the first one, you can use that in a word so that you can understand it and you know how to use it. So you should learn the common used compound words in Chinese. Okay, for the 5, of course, you should do a lot of practice. Yes, that's all. I hope that you can have the basic idea of how to start your Chinese writing and how to study in the correct direction. I would say that these 5 steps is that the correct direction. Don't skip any step. Don't skip anyone. And then you will make your Chinese learning more efficient. Good luck.